The Young and the Restless, spoilers. Shock. In the intricate world of Genoa City, where relationships are as volatile as the corporate power struggles, the lives of Billy Abbott, Chelsea Lawson, and Sally Spectra have become deeply intertwined. Each of them faces a crucial decision that will shape their futures, and as emotions run high, the consequences of their choices become increasingly difficult to predict. Billy's change of heart. Billy Abbott, known for his impulsive decisions and complicated love life, finds himself at a turning point. For a time, he had considered Sally Spectra as a potential love interest. Her fiery personality and undeniable charm had intrigued him, and there was a moment when he thought they might have a future together. But as time passed, Billy realized that his heart wasn't in it. His feelings for Sally weren't as strong as he had once believed, and he began to see her more as a friend than a romantic partner. Instead, Billy's thoughts turned back to Chelsea Lawson, the woman he had loved and lost, and who now carried his child, potentially. The complicated nature of their relationship, marked by betrayal and heartache, created a rift between them that seemed impossible to bridge. Yet despite everything, Billy found himself wanting to forgive Chelsea. He saw in her the potential for redemption, the possibility of rebuilding something beautiful out of the ashes of their past. Chelsea, for her part, was filled with regret. The realization that she had betrayed a man as loyal and loving as Billy weighed heavily on her. She knew she had made mistakes, and the prospect of losing Billy forever was something she couldn't bear. With renewed determination, Chelsea began to make amends, reaching out to Billy, pleading for his forgiveness, and hoping they could find a way back to each other. Sally's dilemma. While Billy and Chelsea navigated their path to reconciliation, Sally Spectra found herself at a crossroads. Sally, a woman who had always been strong and independent, now faced a situation that left her feeling vulnerable and uncertain. She was pregnant with Adam Newman's child, but the relationship between them had grown increasingly strained. Adam, ever the complex figure, had made it clear that he wasn't interested in settling down and giving her or their unborn child the stability she desperately needed. Sally knew that revealing her pregnancy to Adam would complicate things further. Adam was already entangled in other relationships and struggles, and she feared that bringing a child into the mix only lead to more heartache. But Sally was also tired of being second best, of being treated as a convenience rather than a priority. She wanted more for herself and for her child. The idea of leaving Genoa City began to take root in her mind. Returning to Los Angeles, where she had connections and a support system, seemed like the best option. There, she could have the baby, take time to figure out her next steps, and perhaps even start anew. But the thought of leaving without telling Adam about the child was a heavy burden. She knew it would be controversial, and that Adam would never forgive her if he found out the truth later. Adam's reaction. As Sally quietly made plans to leave, Adam remained oblivious to the life-changing news she was keeping from him. His focus was elsewhere, tangled in the complexities of his other relationships and his ongoing struggle to find a sense of purpose and direction. The idea of settling down or taking on the responsibility of a child was far from his mind. In fact, the thought of tying himself to Sally in any permanent way was something he actively avoided. But if Adam were to discover that Sally was pregnant with his child, especially if she planned to leave Genoa City without telling him, his reaction would be explosive. Adam was many things, but indifferent to his children was not one of them. The thought of losing out on the chance to be a father, to have a say in his child's life, would drive him to do everything in his power to stop Sally from leaving. Even if he didn't want to be with Sally romantically, he would feel an obligation to be part of his child's life, and the idea of her taking that choice away from him would be intolerable. The road to Los Angeles. Sally's plan to leave Genoa City was fraught with challenges. She had to move carefully, making sure that Adam didn't catch wind of her intentions until she was safely out of reach. The prospect of starting over in Los Angeles was both exhilarating and terrifying. On one hand, it offered a fresh start, away from the drama and complications of Genoa City. On the other, it meant leaving behind everything she had built, and potentially severing ties with people she cared about. As she prepared for her departure, Sally couldn't help but reflect on how her life had brought her to this point. She had always been a fighter, a survivor, but this decision felt different. It wasn't just about her anymore. It was about the child she was carrying, the future she wanted to create for them both. But there was always the looming threat of Adam discovering her plan. If he did, she knew he would never let her go quietly. Adam's need for control, especially when it came to his children, would drive him to stop her at any cost. Yet, paradoxically, Adam also had no interest in giving Sally what she truly wanted: family, a sense of belonging, and respect. Final decision. In the end, Sally had to make a choice. She could either stay in Genoa City, reveal the truth to Adam, and hope for the best, or she could leave, start over in Los Angeles, and protect herself and her child from the potential fallout. It was a decision that weighed heavily on her, knowing that either choice could have profound implications for her future. If she stayed and told Adam the truth, she risked being pulled back into his orbit with no guarantee that he would ever truly commit to her or their child. If she left, she would have to live with the knowledge that she had kept something monumental from him, and that she might never see him again. As Sally stood on the brink of this life-altering decision, she knew that whatever she chose, there would be no turning back. The road ahead was uncertain. She was determined to take control of her destiny, to find the happiness and respect she deserved, whether in Genoa City or Los Angeles. Fallout: should Sally choose to leave, the fallout would be significant. Adam, once he discovered the truth, would be furious, not just at Sally, but at himself for not seeing the signs. The idea of losing another child, especially one he didn't even know about, would haunt him. But there would also be a sense of resignation, as Adam realized that his actions had led to this outcome, that his inability to commit had driven Sally away. For Billy, the focus would remain on rebuilding his relationship with Chelsea. The realization that Chelsea had always been the one he wanted, despite the complications of their past, would drive him to make amends and create a future together. Chelsea, too, would find solace in the fact that Billy was willing to forgive her, and she would work tirelessly to ensure that their relationship was stronger than ever. For Sally, the path ahead was uncertain. Whether she stayed or left, she knew that she had to prioritize her own happiness and that of her child. The days of settling for less were over, and no matter what the future held, Sally was ready to face it head-on, with or without the men who had once been so central to her life. In the end, Sally's journey was one of self-discovery and empowerment. She had spent too long living in the shadows of others, and now it was time for her to step into the light, to take control of her life, and to build a future on her own terms, no matter where that future might lead.